From Troy University and Troy Public Radio, this is On Leadership with Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr., Chancellor of Troy University.
A recent poll reveals that 65% of Americans believe our nation is more divided along ideological lines than at any time in our history. Yet, that same survey also reveals 90% of us believe strong leadership is vital for success. This is not a new idea. In fact, Thomas Jefferson said more than 200 years ago that the preservation of our democracy depends on developing a cadre of leaders with integrity, ability, and vision. And we at Troy University embrace leadership development as vital to our culture and to our mission. Developing the next generation of leaders is our duty and one of our top priorities at Troy. We spend a lot of time with students eager to learn about leadership lessons, but not all learning is relegated to the classroom, and not all students are enrolled in college. And that's why it will be my honor to speak with you on the topic of leadership development over the coming months. The United States enjoys a rich tradition of leadership. Our history books are filled with names of great patriots like Washington and Adams, military leaders such as Eisenhower and Patton, and statesmen such as Roosevelt and Truman. As the Chancellor of Troy University, I often address classes in our Institute for Leadership Development, and they often ask me for my definition of leadership. And while there are almost 1,000 definitions of leadership, my answer to them is relatively simple, yet also far-ranging in scope. Simply stated, leadership is the management of hope. This country's history is filled with men and women who have managed hope, and in so doing, they've changed the course of history. The most famous example of this type of leadership, in my opinion, is found in the words and actions of former President Ronald Reagan. President Reagan took office in January of 1981 when our nation was reeling from the turbulent decade of the 1970s. That era was marked by the Watergate scandal, the end of the war in Vietnam, crippling inflation, and the Iran hostage crisis, among many other great problems in our society. No doubt, the United States had lost stature on the world stage, and our nation needed to be reminded to never lose hope. President Reagan reassured the nation that he was in charge and that once again we could become that shining city on the hill. He gave us hope that the Cold War was in its last days when he urged the leader of the Soviet Union, quote, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." He made that speech at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin in 1987, and within 2 years, the Berlin Wall came tumbling down. While few of us face the challenges posed by the presidency, all of us are leaders at some level. If you teach Sunday school, you're a leader. If you hold office in a civic club or a school's PTA, you are a leader. If you offer yourself in service to your community, you're a leader. And I hope you benefit from the lessons we have planned over the coming months. We began this series on leadership over 25 years ago, and at the time it was designed to run on a limited basis. But we have continued to see the relevance of the topic, and I hope you agree. Today it's more timely than ever before, and I hope you will join me again to discuss our great American tradition of leadership. I look forward to visiting with you.
You've been listening to On Leadership with Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr., Chancellor of Troy University. On Leadership is available wherever you get your podcast.